Okay.
For me, it was nice. I didn't, just what was nice about it was me sharing what I learned about it and the how everybody was so receptive. So all the messages where I got Happy Valentine's Day and I would send Happy Akoma Day, and oh, thank you for enlightening me. And then I sent it to my email list, and I got a lot of responses back from that and my coalition sisters. So that part was really nice because some people, you feel like sometimes when you share stuff that people are receptive, but I believe that we're in a culture now where people are, if they don't know, they want to know. And so I was grateful for that.
Thanks for passing on the word. Yeah, yeah. It's like, we don't know what we don't know. But you're right. There is a spirit of people really having an openness in their heart to learning, especially more about our culture. So much of it has been stripped away. So any nugget that you can get of it back, it's really beautiful. So kudos to you for sharing it, Taj. Kudos, kudos. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started because we have a treat tonight as well. And my beautiful sister Sola is actually on with us this evening, and I'm gonna be introducing her shortly, okay? But really eager and excited to have her in the space this evening. So gratitude to you, sis. Okay, so we're gonna get started with our opening of the way. So we are in our sacred text, right? So we're on page 180 for Gateway 3 of Sacred Movement. Page 180, Gateway 3 of Sacred Movement. Okay. And as we get started with our opening of this gateway, first I just want to kind of give a little bit of the background that Queen has actually very eloquently stated here for us on the page. So, sacred movement revitalizes the physical body and teaches us how to spiritualize matter. Through sacred movement, we learn that body, mind, and spirit are interrelated energy systems. By learning to harmonize our subtle energy systems through physical movement, we hold the key to assessing our spiritual body at will. So, if you are anxious and stressed, sacred movement can bring peace and composure. Sacred movement can empty the body of physical emotion and psychological waste. Fluid sacred movement creates harmony and flexibility in body, mind, and spirit. Sacred movements allow you to ground yourself and transcend yourself by permitting the body to become the bridge between heaven and earth. Ashe. Okay. So at this time, we will get started with our opening of the gateway prayer. And if you so feel called, feel free to mute yourself
Yeah.
and we can speak it together. Okay. Sacred and divine Bes,
Sacred and divine Bes,
Yes.
awaken the ancient dancer in me
awaken the ancient dancer
in me.
to allow sacred movement to set my spirit free.
To
to
allow
allow sacred
to set my
movement
spirit
set
free.
my spirit free.
May sacred movement leap me
A sacred movement
May sacred movement lead me
into pure exhilaration
into pure exhilaration
and stretch me to star Sirius
and stretch me into star Sirius
in my inner galaxy.
in my
in my
inner
inner
galaxy.
galaxy.
May my dance flush out
May my dance flush out
my arteries,
my
My
arteries,
pump oxygen to my heart
pump oxygen
oxygen to my heart
and my brain,
and
and my brain,
detoxify my blood,
detoxify my
detoxify my
blood,
blood,
lubricate my joints,
lubricate my
lubricate my
joints,
joints,
and liberate my spirit.
and
and liberate
my
my spirit.
May my sacred movements
May my sacred movement
movements
bring my soul to life.
Bring my soul to life.
My mind to rest.
My mind to
To
rest.
rest.
My heart to balance.
My heart
My
to
heart
balance.
to balance.
And my being to light.
And my
And
being to
to
life.
light.
Hetipu.
Hetepoo.
Okay. So at this time, we'll now move into our libations. Okay. I shall pour as we state. All praise and adoration to the spirit guardian Bes, the protector of sacred movement.
Ashe.
All praise and adoration to the ancestors, the mothers of sacred movement, Josephine Baker and Pearl Primus.
Ashe.
All praise and adoration to the elders of sacred movement, Catherine Dunham and Carmen de la Valle de Dad.
Ashe.
All praise and adoration to my divine self and my contemporary divine sisters, Judith Jameson, Debbie Allen, and Queen Esther, who honor sacred movement.
Ashe.
At this time, feel free to unmute and speak into the call the names of your own ancestors.
Dolores Davidson. Ashe. Devetta Wilson. Ashe. Harriet Rice Adams. Ashe.
Sure.
Nina Adams. Ashe.
Okay. At this time, we will now move into our sacred woman prayer. Please unmute and we'll speak it as call and repeat. Sacred woman in the making.
Sacred woman in the making.
Sacred woman reawaken.
Sacred woman reawaken.
Reawaken.
Sacred spirit hold me near.
Sacred spirit hold me near.
Protect me from all harm and fear.
Protect me from all harm and fear.
Fear.
Beneath the stones of life.
Beneath the stones of life.
Direct my steps in the right way
Direct my steps in the right way.
as I journey through this vision.
As
As I
I
journey
journey
through this vision.
Sacred spirit surround me
Sacred
Sacred
spirit
spirit
surround me
surround me
in your most absolute perfect light.
in your
in
most
your most
absolute perfect light.
light.
Anoint me in your sacred purity,
Anoint me
in your
sacred
sacred
purity,
purity,
peace, and divine insight.
peace
peace,
and
and
divine
divine
insight.
insight.
Bless me, truly bless me.
Bless me.
Bless
Truly
me,
bless me.
bless me.
I share this sacred life.
As I share the
the
sacred
sacred
life.
life.
Teach me, sacred spirit,
Teach me, sacred spirit,
to be in tune with the universe.
to be in tune with the universe.
universe.
Teach me how to heal
Teach me how to heal
Not a hill.
with the inner and outer elements
With the
the
inner
inner
and
and
outer
outer elements
of air,
of air,
air,
fire,
fire,
water,
water,
earth,
and earth.
to enter.
To
water.
Okay. This time we'll now move into the sacred movement prayer. Inspiring and enlivening Bes, guardian of sacred movement, fill me with your joyous spirit. May I feel your divine presence in every part of my body temple and coursing through my veins as I dance my gratitude for your sacred movement that renews my life force. At this time, we'll now move into our Hesi chant. Nukpu Ether Hemet, which means I am a sacred woman. Nuku enter Amen. Nuku
Enter
enter Nuku enter Amen. Nuku enter Amen. I'm a sacred woman.
I'm a sacred one.
Sure. Sisters, we will now go into our fire breaths. Let's get grounded. This week we are in Gateway 3, which means we are up to 400 fire breaths. I will keep record for us in counts of 10. With one deep breath in and hold for 4 seconds. And a slow exhale out. Bend it 4 seconds. And we may begin. You sisters, we are returning. Slowly bring yourself back. Okay. I feel like those fire breaths get more and more challenging every gateway, right? elevating our consciousness further. So, sisters, as we are moving through the Gateway of Bes for this remaining of this week, I am so thrilled to bring to you my sacred sister, our sacred sister, and also my sacred sister, um, and I would say partner through the journey of sacred woman practicing, right? It's our sacred woman practitioner, Sola. And I am going to go ahead and spotlight her here, but I'm going to also read to you her divine bio. Okay. So our sacred sister practitioner, Sola, is the owner and founder of Burn and Jack. And Burn and Jack was born out of love and admiration for two extraordinary women who shaped her life, her grandmothers, Bernice and Jacqueline. Their lives were earnest yet captivating, a timeless reminder that through compassion and resilience, we can conquer any challenge that comes our way. Bernice was a force of nature, an entrepreneur, and a healer. Her fiery spirit and unwavering determination inspired all who knew her. Growing up, Sister Sola watched her turn dreams into reality, building a successful business that touched the lives of countless people. She taught her the power of believing in herself and taking risks, proving that even in the face of adversity, we can triumph. Jacqueline, on the other hand, was an educator, dedicating her life to nurturing young minds. Her gentle nature and patient guidance created an environment where curiosity thrived. I remember sitting in her dining room, Sister Sola says, captivated by her stories and life lessons. She says she taught her the significance of education and the power it holds to transform lives. Through her journey, she instilled in Sister Sola the values of knowledge and lifelong learning. Both of her grandmothers shared a deep faith in God, a belief that sustained them through the trials and tribulations of life. They taught her the strength that comes from a steadfast connection with the divine. Prayer, they would say, was the cornerstone of their existence, a compass guiding them through the darkest of storms. Burn and Jack stands as a tribute to these incredible women, carrying forward their legacy of healing, educating, and overcoming challenges. The company embodies their values, a commitment to serving others and making a positive impact in the world. So, sisters, I bring forward to you all and have the honor and privilege to reintroduce you yet again to our sacred woman practitioner, Sola.
Greetings, greetings. Thank you so much for that, Sacred Woman Practitioner. I really appreciate allowing me into your space to share this time with you. And I want each of you to just give yourselves a big hug for taking this time to elevate your spirits. As my sister so graciously said, my grandmothers are my reason. My mother's my reason. And what I notice is that we specifically, and I can speak openly about Black women, we hold so much. And today in Sacred Movement, we're going to learn how to release it. My grandmother Bernice passed at 72. And I believe that she could still be here if she had have been able to release some of the emotions, some of the pain, some of the trauma she endured in life. And Grandma Jack passed at 68, and she passed from Alzheimer's. And again, I know that she could still be here if she would have been able to release some of the trauma. And as I evaluated my trauma, it was a mirror of my mother's trauma, of my grandmother's trauma. So this work that I do is really to help us release the trauma, because not only do we hold the trauma that we accumulate in life, in our own lives, we hold the trauma that we inherit from our ancestral trauma. In church, we call it generational curses. And at some point I'd like, I'm going to put a term in the chat. We don't have time to talk to it about it today, but the term is epigenetics. Has anyone heard of it? Okay, I see one hand. All right. Epigenetics is a scientific fact that trauma changes the way our DNA responds. And so if we have, because we have a history of a lot of trauma in our bloodlines, then that trauma really does impact how we think, how we speak, the things that we do. But through living intentionally, we can repair that trauma so that our future generations that it is eradicated in our future generations. Let me type that in the chat. So what I do through Burn and Jack is one, I'm a Reiki master. And so I teach and administer Reiki, but I also am an energy for life coach in addition to being a sacred woman practitioner. And the energy for life coaching, we are about moving energy. Everything is energy. Energy also equates to our emotions. Every emotion that we feel has an energetic property. My Reiki master teacher says that we should only hold on to emotions for 3 seconds. I don't know about you, but it's a lot of emotions. They'll stay with me for a lot longer than 3 seconds. But emotions are signals to our bodies that something is wrong, our fight or flight mechanism, something needs to be changed, or we're happy, something is right. But the challenge becomes when we don't release those energies, when we don't release those emotions, they get stored in our hips, they get stored in our shoulders, they get stored in our heart, they get stored in our organs. And so today in Sacred Movement, it's not going to be your traditional like yoga or dance class. I'm going to actually teach and hopefully provide some tools that we can use, that when we start feeling emotions, we can have tools to help release them. So before I get into today, do I have any questions from anyone? I kind of went directly just right on in, but are there any questions before we get started?
Just the chat. Any questions, sisters?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Greetings, Ja.
Greetings.
Good to have you on, sis.
I'm elated to be back. I wanted to know if, I believe her name is Sola. Was she
Sola,
your? Yes. Well, that's just divine alignment. Thank you for answering that question.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Was that was a question you had, John?
Yes.
My name? Okay. Yeah, Shola. Any other questions?
I was asking, actually, your name is probably similar to the woman who founded the Energy for Life.
Okay, so I have a funny story with that. A hilarious story, actually. So I first purchased Opening to Spirit by Caroline Shola Arewa. Probably back in 1999. It was when it first came out. I purchased it, and I was on the Metro train. I'm from Chicago. I was on the Metro train on my way to work, and I'm reading the book on my way to work, and this lady says, "Why are you reading that? All you need is Jesus." Like, okay. So that was kind of at the beginning of my journey of really stepping into understanding our culture, our history. As Sacred Woman Practitioner Tanisha said, we've lost it. So that was probably what entry of it. And then, so years later, she started having life coaching classes. And I mean, I still had the book, but she just kept popping up on my timeline. I'm like, this is the same lady. I read her book back 20 years ago. And so I had been trying to take her class for about 5 or 6 years, but finances didn't allow it. And so finally, after like literally Sacred Women Practitioner, we ascended in our practitionership, and I think I started the Energy for Life coaching like that same week. So yes. So at the time, I still had my birth name, Anisha. And so in September, I was initiated into Ifa, and my Ifa name is Ifa Shola. And so I reached out to Shola Awewa, and I was like, guess what? We have the same name. So yes, it is divine alignment.
Yes, I actually was thinking about doing that spiritual coaching, and this is her last one. That's what she said.
Yeah. Was
So-
her last one in person? Well, she will teach it in person. She's going to do it where she records the sessions.
Okay.
That at
Yes.
least that was my understanding when I took it a year and a half ago.
Okay. I thought this
Yeah.
was like her last one, but
Yeah,
that's
it's the
probably
last
what she
last
meant.
one that she's
Okay.
teaching. Mhm.
Yes. And I was like, okay, do I need to do it right now? And this was just like confirmation.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Right. Confirmation
Yes, we
showed
have the
up.
same name though.
That's just divine. So
Mhm.
thank you for sharing your
You're
story.
welcome. It's all in divine alignment. It's the same way with Queen of Four. I read her book when it first came out 22 years ago. And it just followed and followed and followed and ended up taking her program and connecting with her. And I'm just so grateful for both of their works.
Ashe.
I did have one thing to add because you said that we lost our culture. I was going to say that I believe we can't lose anything that is within us.
Ashe.
Ashe.
That is a
that
fact.
we are supposed to go through this phase of or era seasons of being indoctrinated and brainwashed because it's like an obstacle course in a way, you know,
And
to
extend the
show
right
us how
path.
resilient we are. Like it didn't take us long to remember who we were.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. We are remembering. It's just like the trauma is held in our DNA, the good things are held in our DNA too.
Ashe.
Ashe. Well, today is going to be a little bit challenging, just a little bit, because I want to make sure you guys can hear me. So I have my earbuds in, but I can't share my music with my earbuds in. So I'm going to have to pull them out and then turn on my music. Sister, am I able to share my music?
Absolutely. Sure.
Okay, let me take the earbuds out, see if you're able to hear me.
Did you want to share using the screen? I can give you post through the screen, or did you want to send it to me to share?
Just 1 second, I gotta find a case for them now.
Okay. So meanwhile, sisters, I've dropped some links on how to get more information.
Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, yes. Can you hear us?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, good.
Can you
All
hear us?
right, let me share my music. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do some breath work. So we're going to spend about 10 minutes in some doing breath work. And then we're going to move into some somatic or energy movements to remove the energy. And after each movement, we're going to really just sit in that energy and see how we feel. So I want us to really be conscious of what you're feeling, so that you'll know what you need to release. I want to tell another really interesting story I just recently started yoga teacher training, and I've done yoga many, many times. but doing it in a one-on-one session and really getting to go into my hips more so than I've been in a long time, I would come out of poses and I would be in tears, and I'm like, wait a minute. There was nothing really wrong. I didn't have any bad feelings or anything, but obviously there was something within my hips that needed to be released. And so there was a severe emotional release after my last session, and it felt so cleansing and so good. And so that's just an example of how we hold on to emotions within our bodies. And so I'm going to, let me share my music so we can start with our breath work. Where is the share? There we go. Let's do. All right, we got my screen, my music audio share. Let me turn us on some good music. So for our first exercise, again, I want us to be aware of what you're feeling, any thoughts, any sensations, any emotions that you have. I want you to have a journal near. Please be comfortable. If you're sitting on the floor, you can sit cross-legged. If you're sitting in a chair, make sure your feet are flat on the floor. And just get comfortable.
Give praise, give praise, give praise, give praise for all that is.
So my full-time job is that I work in technology, and it seems that technology never works the way you want it to when you want it to, when you need it to, rather. All right, let's try this one more time. Because I tested all of this out before we started, and everything worked.
Yeah.
Are you guys able to hear music? I can't hear it. That's crazy.
Not very well,
All right. Go figure, I can't hear it. So I want you to place your right hand on your heart, right, just on your chest, and your left hand on your solar plex, your sacral chakra, just below your navel. And just close your eyes. And just sit with yourself.
So let's give praise now.
By placing your right hand on your heart, you're placing your hand over your thalamus gland, which is giving yourself and boosting your immunity and your immune system. It's over your heart, which is sending love from yourself to yourself.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for all that is. There will never ever be another day just
I'm just going to sit here just for one more minute. And this is a really good exercise to just connect with yourself, to calm yourself down, to give yourself a boost.
Hallelujah, 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 I stay for all that is. There will never ever be another day just like this day, so let's give
Okay.
praise.
I want you to rejoin the room.
We give praise and I shame. Say
And we're going to move into cleansing breaths. And on these breaths, I want you to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. So you're going to inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. But exaggerate the exhale. And just depending on how you're feeling, there's some days where I need to go to really let out the excess energy. So depending on how you're feeling today, you may just have a normal inhale and exhale, but if you have extra energy, extra emotions that you need to release, go ahead and release it. And then do whatever your body wants it to do, wants you to do. Move your head from side to side if you need to, head circles. A really fun fact about your nose is that it has erectile tissue, and your nose experiences erections. Breathing in through your nose filters the air.
I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light.
This is for you, so if you need to continue with your cleansing breaths, feel free, continue with them.
I am light. I am light. I am light.
If you're ready to move on to the next breath, we're going to do 4-count box breathing. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, release for 4, and hold. And we're going to do that for 2 minutes. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe it in through your nose and out through your nose. So let's breathe in again.
I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light.
And just sit with your breath. And 4-count breathing next. Be sure to expand your stomach as you inhale. So as you expand your stomach, your diaphragm expands, and it helps to give your intestines a massage.
I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star,
Breathe in through your
piece of it
nose.
all.
Feel the air fill your chest, your stomach. Release it. We're going to be here for 20 more seconds. And now we're going to move to 4 counts in and 6 counts out. So we're going to inhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 4. And exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 2 and inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 2. And let's continue that breathing pattern for 2 minutes. Connecting with our breaths. Bringing all of our energy back into ourselves. The children are going to be fine. The mates are fine. The bills will get paid. Our parents are fine. Everything is okay. We have everything that we need right here, right now. And we're bringing all of our energy back into ourselves. We'll stay here for 30 more seconds.
Nothing lasts forever. No one lives forever. The flower that fades and dies. Winter passes and spring comes. Embrace the cycle of life that is the greatest love. Go beyond fear.
Keep repeating your breath.
Go beyond fear.
Wiggle your toes.
Beyond fear takes you
Take
into the
your
place
hands.
where love grows. When you refuse to follow the
And when you're ready,
impulses
you
of
can
fear,
return back to the
anger,
space.
and revenge. Beyond means to feel yourself. Start every day.
Take just a couple minutes to write down any sensations, any thoughts, any emotions, anything that you feel like you need to journal for right now. Let's just take a couple seconds to write it out.
Hi.
I'm gonna rearrange my laptop here. I think I'm gonna have to sit it on the floor. Anybody have anything that they would like to share with the group?
So I'll go first. The first thought that came to mind, just when you asked, to just take the moment to journal for me was that meditation and breath work together in that way really helps me to feel really like dropped into my actual body. You know?
Mhm.
So I realized that when I meditate without the breath work, my mind tends to kind of go into other spaces.
Yep.
But by really focusing on the breathing at the same time as the meditation experience and the sound bath of the music, it really did extract those thoughts for me. And I love that you kind of started to mention to us that everything would be okay, because it's when you said that I realized I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, "Oh, okay, so we were deep in this, right?" Because my mind had not escaped to that thought, and you mentioning that brought that to my present mind. And very often when I'm sitting in like just silent meditation, that's the thing that I have to continuously pull myself back,
Mhm.
my body. So that was beautiful. Good thing.
Yeah, thank you. That's great revelations. One thing I forgot to mention is the purpose of the longer exhale is that helps you to release excess toxins. So on your inhale, of course, we're breathing in oxygen where we're feeding the cell. And on the exhales, we're releasing carbon dioxide, which is poison. So when you think about it, not only when we exhale, not only are we releasing excess physical poison, carbon dioxide, but we're also releasing the negative emotions. And so that's a really good technique when you're doing breath work, is to extend your exhale for longer than your inhale.
Mm. Let's see, now we have more comments in chat here.
That's
So
a song.
Sister
Yeah.
Elisa says, embrace the cycle of life, go beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the name of the song, or that's Tina Turner's CD. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else, anything else anyone would like to share?
I'll share.
Okay.
This is Felisa. I didn't realize that I probably have been holding my breath since my brother had a heart attack last Monday. And I want to thank all my sisters for saving space and holding space in prayer. They gave up on him. Said they had never seen anybody come back from being without oxygen for about 20, more than 20 minutes. But uh, my praise report is that today he gave me a hug. He is awake. He has some challenges, but nothing that he can't recover from. And during the breath work, I felt like losing control, but in a good way, like it releasing. And I actually stopped myself because I would be on the floor. And but it was cleansing for me. And hearing you explain what happens when you exhale, what happens when you inhale, how you're releasing the toxins, you're releasing emotions and things like that, because our whole family has been on an emotional roller coaster. So I really appreciate you and appreciate this experience, because I was holding a lot in, and so it's been just that little bit has been very helpful for me to feel so much gratitude and so much more relaxed in my spirit. So give thanks for you and this whole platform, Tanasia. Thank you so much. I'm complete.
That's great to hear. Thank you for sharing that. And rightfully so, you have a lot of emotions going on. My prayers for your brother. And if you'd like, if you'd like to put his name in the chat, I'll be happy to add him to my prayer altar. And
Thanks.
I've seen a lot of miracles. A lot of miracles. We don't go by what the doctors say, because I've seen a lot of miracles.
Ashe.
Ashe. Well, let's move on to the next exercise. So I want you to stand up. And just stand in a mountain pose. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna turn the music back. You know, I'm gonna leave the music off for now. All right, so I just want you to stand here in a mountain pose. Your feet are hip distance apart. And just be. Just stand, just listen to your body, feel your body. If you need to sway, for some reason my body wants to sway right now. So if you want to sway, go ahead and sway. If you want to stomp, this is your time to move the energy out of your body, to loosen your joints, to be with yourself. And I want you to just slowly start swaying. Now, this sway is on purpose. We're gonna do what's called a spiral. I'm gonna bring my feet wider apart, and I'm gonna really take up space. And I'm gonna raise my arms, let them spiral up over my head, and just take up space. And lift your feet off the ground, allow them to go, and spiral all the way down. This is your practice. You do what you want to do what feels good to your body. If you're able to squat and go all the way down, go all the way down. And breathe. If you need to do a cleansing breath, do a cleansing breath. We're just going to spiral all the way down. And back up. And we're going to make our spiral smaller. Swaying. Bring our feet back together. And stand in mountain pose. And just feel yourself. Just feel your energy. Make a mental note of how you feel. I feel energized. We're going to move into a ragdoll, where I'll demonstrate the first one and then we can do the second one together. So I'm just going to slowly, very slowly bend my neck. Bend my, just slowly forward bend, moving one vertebrae at a time. And I'm going to grab my right toe and I'm just going to sit here. And then I'm going to come back up one vertebrae at a time. This is releasing the energy in our spine. My head will be the last thing up. The toe is a pressure point, and the pressure point is to help release anxiety. So we're the big toe specifically. So as we do this one, we're just gonna hold on to our big toe just for a little while. We're gonna do 3 breaths down and come back up, and then go back down. So let's go ahead and do that together. Bend your neck, starting with your neck, and just really, really slow. Again, this is your practice. Do what your body can. And hold your toe if you're able to, and just breathe. And let's come back up one vertebrae at a time. Feel the energies. Don't go back into it right away. Just feel it. Connect with yourself. Full embodiment. And when you're ready, you can do another one. Slow bend. Hold your your big toe. And come back up when you're ready, slowly like a rag doll. Feel the energy. And I want to do that one more time. So when you're ready, forward fold really slow, one vertebrae at a time. And let's bring it back up. How are we feeling, ladies?
I'm feeling loose. Look, since I'm only 5'1.5", and the half matters, right? So, but right now I feel at least maybe about 5, maybe 5.5.
Love it. I'm 5'1" too. You got the half on me.
I feel stretched on my spine for sure.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna move into my favorite one. And this is called the witch hopper. I'm gonna demonstrate it first. So my feet are wide. I have a wide stance. And I'm going to raise my hand above interlace my hands, raise my my arms above my head. And I'm going to just chop down, but I'm gonna do it with force. And this one is a breath exercise too. This is a fire energy. So it's to release all that fire energy, any pent up emotions that you may have. This one is really, really good for those days where you just like, I need to release it. And so I'm gonna do it one more time. But this one, it always makes Caesar come, so excuse the dog. This one, you don't want to sit in the energy. The other ones, you want to feel it. This one, we want to release it. So we're going to do 5 of these, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise. We don't want to stand in this fire energy. We want the fire to go away. So let's just do them together. Lift your arms up. Move, Caesar, go. All right. And then we're going to move into our last standing one, which is a pyramid. So again, my legs are wide. I'm going to come down into a squat, and I'm going to straighten my arms out. So instead of having your arms bent, straighten them out so that your shoulders are, so it looks like your shoulders are up. by your ears. It's the only time you want your shoulders by your ears when you're doing movement. And then we're gonna bend to the right. This is really good for our solar plexus. And then bend to the left. And then to the right. So on the exhale, we've been on the inhale, we inhale, and then we exhale and move forward. Move to the side. Inhale, exhale. And when you're ready, you can come back to mountain. And I'm gonna come back and just check in. If you like, you can have a seat on your mat. All right. And just want to check in. How's everyone feeling? Any questions, comments? If you need to journal, this is another great time to journal. Okay. Okay, we're gonna move into another really good, move my camera back just a little bit. So this is another great one to help release energy specifically in our diaphragm. And our diaphragm is right at our solar plexus. Now, this particular exercise, when I'm doing it with my clients, can release a lot of emotions. I'm going to demonstrate. So you're going to put your hands on just under your ribs, and your fingers should go kind of into your ribs. And you're going to inhale, and then you're going to exhale. But when you exhale, you're going to bend forward as far as you can. And your hands, your fingers are going to gently go under your rib cage. Does that make sense? So you're going to be kind of like you're holding your rib cage like this. Well, under your rib cage, not. So you're going to inhale and then exhale. And then inhale back up. Move your hands in just a little bit. Inhale. And exhale and move forward as you exhale. Inhale. Back up. Move your hands in a little bit further, and they should be touching now. And exhale and move forward. And inhale back up. And let's do that. Any questions on this movement? Okay, let's do that 2 more times, starting on the outside. So it should probably take about 3 bends to move through. We're gonna start. Let's do it one more time. And let's just sit and observe how we're feeling. Observe any thoughts, any sensations. Our bodies will tell us exactly what we need. Mhm. When you're ready, I want you to move into child's pose. We have 2 more poses and then we're going to um, so child's pose, if you're not familiar, is just where you just lay back on your hands, get on your feet. Sit back on your feet and put your head on the floor. And let's just when I do child's pose, I like to put my hand in a pyramid so that I bring that positive energy and have that symbol of the pyramid at my crown. And make sure your third eye is on the ground, getting a lot of that earth energy. And just to relax your body. All right, lay flat on the ground. With your head and hands. Your hands should be on the ground, forehead on the ground, and let's just lay here just for a second. Soaking up this beautiful energy of Mother Earth, allowing her to energize us, giving her all of our pain, all of our worries, all of our sorrow. In exchange, she's nourishing us. Let's come back into child's pose one more time. And let's lay flat again. And when you're ready, turn to your right and move on to your back. And put your feet on wide on your mat. And let's just move our hips from left to right. Let's do one more side. And now if you're able, grab your big toe and move into happy baby and rock side to side. Remember, your big toe helps to release anxiety. And just pull it close. If you want to rock side to side, feel free. If not, just be there in that space. And when you're ready, put your feet together so the soles of your feet should be touching. We're going into goddess pose. And put your hands in the shape of a pyramid over your wound. And close your eyes. Affirmation for the body members. I am the knot within the tamarisk tree, beautiful, a splendor more than yesterday. My hair is of new, the primordial waters. My face is of Ra, sun energy. My two eyes are of Heteru, divine love. My two ears are of Uat, opener of the way of understanding. My nose is of Kent Sheps, indwelling ancestors. My two lips are of Ampu, the utterers who report to Tehuti, divine intelligence. My teeth are Kepra, the transformer. My neck is of Ast, the divine. My two hands are of Kemu, molder of form, lord of tattoo, place of stability. My forearms are of Net, strong forearm weaver, lady of Sa, place in the Nile Delta where Net's shrine was established. My backbone is of Sut, stability. My phallus vagina is of Asar, Aset, divinity. My reins, kidneys, are of the Lord's ladies of Ker Abba, region in the Delta, a place of defense. My chest inspires me. My belly and my back are of Sekhmet, vital power. My buttocks are of the eyes of Haru, watch your back. My hips and legs are of Nut, sky. My feet are of Ptah, grounded, solid. My fingers and my toes are the living Aritu, chakras, energy forces, symbol in the cobra, feminine power, intuition. Not a body, member of mine is without Nater, divinity. Tehuti protects my flesh entirely. I am Ra, solar force, every day. I shall not be seized by my arms, nor shall I be carried away by my hand, nor shall the Neteru, spiritual guardians, shining ones, the dead ancestors, ancient ones, or any mortal being bring harm to me, unto me. I come forth, advancing. I know my name. I am light, seer of millions of years in my name, traveler along the way of Haru, the lights. Yeah, I just want you to sit there just for a few more minutes. Just sit in your divinity. Okay. And I want you to deepen your breath. Wiggle your toes, your fingers. Move your arms side to side, rock your body. And when you're ready, roll onto your right side. And you can return to a seating position. When you're ready, take your time. I'm trying to let me remove the spotlight. Maybe that'll help. There we go. I want to see all of your beautiful faces. How are you feeling? Anybody, take time to journal or to share if you like. Again, this is your time, this is your space. Okay. Lighter. Felicia says she feels lighter. Awesome. Let me write down Douglas's name now so that I won't lose the chat. Okay. So I do have one other movement that I want to do for us closing out, and that's just us moving. I'm gonna play our Sacred Woman, one of our Sacred Woman songs. But I want to know if anyone, Kavita has her hand raised. Is there any other hands raised? I'm sorry. Yeah, Kavita. And I hope I said your name right.
Yes, you did. Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to say thank you.
You are very welcome.
Um, I wanted to just say that I'm grateful for my body and that it's beautiful that it holds memory for us. And it was just very special to finally be like accepting this body. I've known we all have bodies, but like, what does that mean in the context of self? And I feel like I'm accepting my body more and I'm appreciating this suit I'm in. And I just thought that it was very powerful. The rib to diaphragm exercise. As we were doing that, I felt just so honored to the creatrix of designing the body in such a way where it protects the heart and the lungs. I found that fascinating. Found that fascinating again. But I found it amazing to like just say hi, to this part of your body. It's been probably neglected most of our lives. And so I remember I touched my ribs actually last week and I was like, hey. So I thought it was funny that you did that exercise, and I'll probably do that a lot more. And I also wanted to share that I'm just grateful. Yeah, I think I'm just grateful. And I feel like I'm accepting my calling more and more. And amongst like all the chaos in the outside world, I just feel honored to be in the space, and I'm just really grateful that you came on here and did somatic healing and exercise. And I just think it's fascinating and amazing that this is probably what we've been missing our whole lives as children, and everything is like telling you to be outside of yourself almost. And so it's beautiful to just be inside, but also connected with you all. So yeah, thank you.
Ashe. One thing I want to mention is this is our solar plexus. This is the area where our diaphragm is at. That's our solar plexus. That's the seat of our personal power. And so always remember that you are powerful and you are beautiful. And this helps us to come back into that space of our personal power, because we have our physical body, which is represented by our lower chakras, and Sacred Woman Practitioner go into this more. And then we have our upper, we start to really connect with our divinity. And this is the middle part of that. So always remember that you are powerful and you are beautiful.
Ashe.
I saw another hand up. I see Sacred Women Practitioner, Tanasia, you have your hand up.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to my thought was actually expanding on the remembering of like the inner child. I know Queen Kavita kind of touched on it a little bit, and that's where my mind was going. So when we put our hands underneath the ribs, like you said, right in that solar plexus, like it just immediately, so to Kavita's point, I don't recall doing that in my adult life, but
Yeah.
but in that moment, I remember doing that when I would be like kind of like in a fit of emotion as a child. I would kind of grab my, around the same section in the ribs and kind of double over if I were crying or upset. And that was what I recalled when we did that motion. And then as we kind of moved into child's pose and then even lying flat, all of those motions really reminded me of being a child. It's kind of like even if you whether it's your child or someone else's child, when they're like riddled with emotion and you see them kind of fall out in what we would call maybe a tantrum, it's all the same organic movements, right? That falling out into the floor, head to the ground, all the things that now as adults we have to kind of be reminded that we can do. But as children, before they are exposed to this idea that that's not right, right? And you shouldn't, behave in that way with your emotion. It's what they do so organically. So yeah, that just kind of that's what came to mind for me as we were moving and transitioning each phase. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. Just, my inner child was like, yes, we remember this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so interesting because when I teach Reiki, we all have healing power in our hands. And women with our wounds, we have, men have the ability to heal, but our wounds give us an extra power. But when like if something on our body is bothering us, we put our hand on it. If your child comes to you and they're hurt, you put your hands on them. And so we know what to do, but I don't think we always know what we're doing. And that's why these processes that we're going through with Sacred Women is so important so that we understand that everything we need is within us. That's so powerful. Thank you for sharing, Sacred Woman Practitioner. Anybody else would like to share? My sister reminded me of something else that I wanted to share with us, and did you have anything else that you wanted to do in this circle, or do I have a few more minutes?
You do. And I
Oh,
see that we did have in the chat.
yeah, this gateway and these movements have reawakened the dancer in me. I have missed this feeling immensely. Through each movement, I release more emotion. Yes, I love that. Let's see, lighter. Um, Let me write down Douglas' name. Let me be sure to put that on my altar tonight.
Yeah.
I
Typically do is we go up until about 8:55, and then we leave the last 5 minutes for our closing Sacred Woman prayer.
okay, awesome. And then I feel the exact same way and electrifying. Awesome. I'm so glad you ladies are getting value in this. I want to share a few more things. Um And these I usually share in my Reiki 1 training, but they are a few hand positions because all of us have power. This is a power center in our bodies, in the center of our hands. And so I'm going to play some soft music and I'm just going to teach us just 5 basic hand positions for your head to help with emotions and just to help if anyone has ever experienced any trauma, if you have any trauma that you're healing from, there's one power center that I'm going to show that can really help to release and to help that what we call the reptilian brain. Because one book that I'm reading called the What Happened to You is very, very powerful. And it really teaches that if we experience trauma as a child, it's held in our reptilian brain, in our hippocampus. And so I'm going to just go through a few hand movements for us. Should take less than 5 minutes. Okay, so let me get some good music going. Okay. So on the first one, we're just going to place our hands on your pinky should be on your third eye, and then just cover your eyes. Uh, and I think you guys might be able to hear the music, but I can't again. Okay. So this is just one position. You just want to sit here just for a minute to 1 to 3 minutes. And just focus on your breath. next position, I'm just going to spend 30 seconds on each position for now, is your right hand on your forehead and your left hand on your crown. Now let's move your right hand to the back of your neck, on your neck, and your left hand just above it on the back of your head. Now let's just move both of our hands to our neck. Just cup your neck and over your throat, which is the power of your voice. So when we hold back on speaking our true feelings. And thank yourself for honoring yourself. Go through this process of elevating your spirits, of releasing trauma, of walking into the powerful being that you are. And then the last one, just place your hands. This is my favorite one. They're all my favorite. And just place your hands on your shoulders, on the so those are, I think I did 5 positions. 1, 2, 5, yeah. Those are 5 positions that can help manage your emotions, that you can use, again, when you're stressed. I do them sometimes on a daily basis. It just depends on what I have going on. Any questions about it? I'm going to tell you why this movement is so special to me. And I think why my body is really, really calling for it. My mother was she was a singer. And she actually produced an album in 1966. But she could sing beautifully, and everybody in my family could dance, but I had 2 left feet. I cannot dance. And so I always shied away from dancing and from movement, and I didn't realize how bad my body needs that. So I'm going to play one of our Sacred Women songs. I'm going to play one of our Sacred Women songs, and y'all don't laugh at me dancing, but we just going to move freestyle. How to remember the positions. Let me see who.
I wanted to also remind the group, and I can drop it into our chat as well, our text message group chat, that, and maybe maybe sis, I'll just take a second to explain how you and I came to this place of introducing this opportunity to our sisters here. So as we were moving through Bess and I'm reading the text again and I'm doing my observations, I just had this like thought that dropped into my spirit about it would be so nice to bring on, you know, another sister to kind of walk us through some light movements that we could do that wouldn't be a lot of stress and strain on our bodies, things that we could do even, you know, no matter where you are, right? If you're in the office and you need to step away. And I'm going through my mental Rolodex, right? Of like, okay, who? Okay. And I said, all right, immediately I didn't have a thought, but I said, I'll sit with this, right? I'll sit with it. Later on the same day, I opened up Instagram and my beloved sis here is doing these movements. So she's literally the first post that came up in my Instagram feed. And I'm saying, oh my goodness. So, and I'd never saw her doing these movements before. I never saw her doing this somatic healing. And so I immediately responded and was like, this was right on time. Like literally. And so I immediately sent a message to say, sis, I didn't even know you were doing this, but I think this would be beautiful. And she was showing just one movement, right? Just the one movement, the one that we were, you know, bringing up over the head and coming down like this. And so, anyway, I mentioned that to say, number one, spirit is always moving.
Sure.
Spirit is always connecting us. Everything we need is always in the circle. Queen of Four reminds us this all the time. Everything we need is in the circle. Our sisters are so supernaturally talented. Everything we need is in the circle. And immediately it was delivered. And so I give thanks for you, sis. And I mentioned that story because Queen Felisa, some of the poses that our sacred woman practitioner Sola has done with us tonight, she actually has on her Instagram too. So through Instagram, if you have Instagram, you can go and follow her page, and you can save these movements inside a separate folder. So that's what I did. Right? I've got like my fitness and motivational folders that you can actually save to within Instagram. So I'll share your information on that too. Give thanks, sis.
Sure, thank you. So I just it's Bernie Jack Wellness, both on Instagram and TikTok. And I'll go over the hand positions again because those are not on my I don't share those outside of groups very often. But one of the most important things is that we understand that we are divine and our divinity sits in our head. And so that's why I took us over the head poses so that we can control, we can remember our divinity. So the first one is just the crown chakra. I'm sorry, the third eye. And then I move to the crown. Okay, so we got third eye, crown. And then I move back to the reptilian brain is what a lot of people call it. So I just covered my face, my head, both the top and the back of my head. And then I covered my throat. And then I just came back to this one. And if there are only two that you remember, I would say this one and this one.
This is so beautiful. I can't even give enough thanks for this experience. This is absolutely beautiful. And
Thank you.
Queens, I would just add that um, after we've already moved through, right? And we move through, but we still carry the lessons along with us, right? So we've gone through sacred word. And as we start to really get even more intentional about what we share, the phrasing we use, how we deliver our messages when we're communicating with people, sometimes as a very far opposite, we can begin to just say nothing, right? And kind of hold things in. So it's like you get to a place where you're saying, well, if I can't find the words that will affirm, then maybe I'll just abandon words altogether, right? And say nothing. But even if you choose to say nothing, that energy is still inside. It's still storing within, and it needs to be expressed. it needs to be expressed even if it's not verbal. So that's how we tie this all in, right? So these gateways are intentional in terms of the research and the sequence that they're delivered to us by Queen Afua. And this actual activity that we did today, this divine, activity that we did this evening, this is a way that whether it's you have to step outside of a meeting, you need to step outside of the kitchen, you need to step outside of the living room, you need to leave, whatever the space is, and kind of get back to a space of loving yourself, getting into those hand motions that calm you and bring you to a space of stabilization. That's how you could use it, right? So that you're not just silencing yourself and storing that energy, that you still allow yourself to have that full expression. So I really give thanks. And Sister Alicia, I see you have your hand up.
Evening, sisters. I was at work late today, so I was like flying home because I'm like, I cannot miss it. And I went back and forth throughout the day, like, do I send the message? I even started typing the message saying, I may not make it tonight, but please record and everything. But thankfully, I'm here because I've gained so much. So I give thanks to you, Sister Shola. Is it Shola? I'm saying it right? Yes. Much thanks to you because I came in like a crazy person. And I came in at the point where we were getting down on the mat. So I like stripped off everything and I was like, okay, let me get my mat and I'm hitting the floor. But with that, I didn't realize how much control, well, with our breathing exercises, it has allowed me to realize how much control you need when you're doing that, when I'm doing my altar work and everything. But just tonight, when you say like, okay, control your breathing or deep breathing, it's usually hard for me to get to that place, and I can't figure out why. But tonight there was a sense of calm, and I'm getting better as the weeks pass. I'm getting better. But what I really wanted to share is when you had us lie on our backs and just in silence, and then you started to speak, I just wanted to share what was presented in my meditation. To me, that's why when I got up, I couldn't speak because I just had to keep on journaling what I was experiencing while I was meditating. So this is what my spirit brought me to. Our land, our village, our community, our home, Kemet. The sun ra is setting. The children's laughter is settling. The men are coming to a calm from the workday, and we, the women, are gathered in spirit, occupying our separate spaces but in union. As we move in unison, movement, hair, arms, legs, heads, feet, even hips, all in union with one another, bringing strife of the day to a calm. Sweet chanting fills the air, and spirit dances within us. Beauty spreading through the village, melanin of every shade graces this soil. We, the women, bring nightfall as well as the great rising dawn. We bring the light. We are the women. And it was just so pure. And what I saw was just a village of like beautiful people, just children playing. But it's like we just brought in the calm of the day. It wasn't too specific, like we weren't putting children to bed or feeding our men or running, making sure that it was just, we brought like a calm, but in different separate areas of the village, but we all was in unison. Our hair, our bodies, everything was in unison. And then I felt like this chanting was starting with all of us, the same chanting, but it was such a sweet sound. And I didn't want to get up, to be honest, but I was like, okay, you got to get up. You got to get up. But thank you. I give thanks to you for bringing that to me. It was just so beautiful. And I just love this group of women. I love you guys with my whole heart. And now I know why God didn't give me natural sisters. Because he had all of this set up for me. And I'm not looking back. Yeah, stuck with me for a lifetime.
Mm. Oh, that was beautiful.
Shame.
I know we're at time, but I want to share two things. One, later on in the last gateway, you will talk about Mesh Connect, which is we have our jobs, and then we have our life purpose. And then also in my life coaching, they ask what energizes you. And so it's like, what would you do for free? What energizes you? And this energizes me, sharing with beautiful women. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share with you guys. And you just did my heart great. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Ashe. Oh my goodness. That was just so beautiful. And the fact that you gave birth to that after rushing in to your mat. I just, like our sacred women practitioner, Sheila says, we will get to a place where our final gateway is Mesh Connect. But at that point, also, we'll be choosing our gateways. And moments like that, you know, I mean, there's more to come, and I'm sure more will be revealed for you. But giving birth to a poem like that during this gateway, right? That is significant. That is significant. That is significant. And I know that you have a connection with Bess already, Queen Alicia. So this is a next level expression of that. This is quite beautiful for us to all witness it together like this. So I give thanks, and I give thanks for you, Sister Shula, for bringing this forward for us all. Oh my goodness. Mm. It's just amazing, amazing, amazing. And I did see that Queen Ja Gracious, you had your hand up too, right?
Yes, I will be quick since I know it's 8. I was just thinking about how she incorporated stillness and movement. And one of the things that I learned when I was in the Sacred Woman program, because I am a dancer and a yogi, and I'm very active. I love hiking and riding bikes and skating. So I'm like, what's the opposite of sacred movement? Because that's more challenging for me than moving my body. And so I focused on stillness instead of moving. Because right now I'm doing a 365-day yoga challenge. So it's like I'm always moving, but I loved the divine balance of the session today, because you rarely get the balance of sacred movement and sacred stillness. And so I just wanted to remind people that when we are in each gateway, there's like an opposite, right? Or the duality. And so to keep that in mind, so not just focusing on sacred movement, but also focusing on being still, because in this time in space, we rarely do that, especially when you have a family, so just take some time to also be still while you find time for sacred movement.
Give thanks for that, sis. Give thanks. I did too. I definitely enjoyed the balance of both. I didn't know if I was coming back to y'all after we turned over on our backs with my head in the time machine. I didn't know if I was coming back. I was like, all right, I'll see y'all next week. Like I was just in such a state of comfort, but awareness at the same time, right? It wasn't like slumber. It was just exactly what you expressed, Ja. It was just a really great feeling to be that still, to be that still, you know? So I give thanks for you again, Sister Jula. Like I seriously, seriously give thanks for you. I see we've got some comments in the chat here. So Tashana says, so Shah said, Goddess pose shook me. Goddess pose shook me. Tatiana said this was amazing. Thank you so much. The exercise of cupping the throat brought me to tears. Thank you for the release. It was needed. That's beautiful, Tatiana. Oh, Letitia said, thank you for this beautiful share. Alicia, Sacred Woman Constance says, giving great thanks. You have blessed us with healing and releasing. The child pose was wonderful. It was. Alicia says she never wrote poetry ever. What? That's just amazing. Amazing. She says, give thanks. Just say you just unlocked another gift. There you have it. There you have it. You unlocked another gift. This shows you ladies are so beautiful. My heart is full. Thank you again. Says, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. My goodness. And your heart is so clearly in the work that you're doing and everything. Every word you spoke was with such grace and warmth. Really and truly. So I give thanks. And I'm happy we recorded this for the other sisters who were unable to make it tonight. But also for those of us who are here who would like to be able to, come back to this again. So I give thanks for this. Giving thanks. And also Sacred Woman Constance says, blessings. It was easy on my back surgery areas. Give thanks, sis. Y'all gonna make me cry in here today. Give thanks, give thanks. All right. So, Sacred Woman Practitioner, Shula, I am going to put your information, not only is it in this chat, but we'll add it to our group chat. You are welcome to join that chat too. So I'll send you the link for that as well. And as per our usual end of ceremony, we're going to go into our Sacred Woman prayer of enlightenment. And that is on page XV or 15, right? At the very beginning of our book. So that first page of the introduction, Roman numerals XV, that's number 15. Okay. So feel free, sisters, queens, to unmute as we speak our prayer aloud together in unison. Okay. We are the women.
We are the women who lighten the dark.
Light in the darkness.
We have
We have come to
Lighten
lighten the
Lighten the
darkness.
It is light.
light.
Lightened.
We have
We have overcome the destroyers.
We are
Are
there
We are there for those who weep,
who weep,
hide
who
their
hide their faces,
who
sunk
who
down.
sunk
down.
down.
They
They
look
Looked upon
Upon
them.
them.
We are the women.
Women.
We are
We
We
are
are
the
the
healers.
healers.
Ashe.
Hey,
love. This was absolutely beautiful for you.
sending you all much love.
Sending you so much
Awkward.
concern. Love you, sisters.
Yeah.
Thank
Hi,
you.
beautiful ladies.
Yes, rest well.
I hate to leave.
Rest well.